I want to talk to the woman who has $20,000 sitting in a standard checking account right now. You look at that number and you feel a sense of relief. You feel safe. You tell yourself, I'm not losing money because I'm not gambling it in the stock market. But I am here to tell you the most uncomfortable truth in personal finance, that safety is an illusion, and that account is currently burning down your financial future at a rate of about 3% to 4% every single year. We are going to talk about the safety trap, the psychological glitch that convinces us that holding cash is prudent when mathematically it is the only asset class guaranteed to lose value over time. Today, we are going to flip your definition of risk on its head, break down the brutal math of inflation, and show you why the most dangerous thing you can do with your money is nothing. My name is Zara, and I spend way too much time thinking about why smart women choose guaranteed losses over volatile gains. If you're someone who works hard for your money but is terrified to let your money work for you, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we are going to stop saving like our grandmothers and start investing like owners. Here is the thing about the human brain. It is hardwired for survival, not for wealth accumulation. We suffer from a cognitive bias called loss aversion, popularized by psychologist Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, which proves that the pain of losing $100 is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining $100. This is why you are terrified of the stock market. You see a red line, you see a dip, and your brain screams danger. So to avoid that pain, you retreat to the safety of cash. But here is the math that your brain ignores. Inflation is the silent thief that breaks into your house every night and steals a tiny sliver of your money. Let's run the numbers. If you had $50,000 in a savings account in 2020, by 2024, that money has lost roughly 20% of its purchasing power due to the massive inflationary spike we experienced. You still see $50,000 on the screen, so you feel safe. But that $50,000 now only buys what $40,000 bought 4 years ago. You have effectively lost $10,000 without ever making a bad trade. This is the invisible tax of inaction. The bank is paying you 0.01% interest to use your money, lending it out at 7% for mortgages, and pocketing the difference. You are literally subsidizing the bank's profitability with your fear. The safety trap convinces you that volatility, the up and down movement of the market, is risk. But volatility is not risk. Volatility is simply the price of admission for growth. Real risk is the permanent destruction of purchasing power. When you hold cash for 10, 20, 30 years, you are guaranteeing a 100% probability that your money will be worth less when you need it than it is today. You are choosing a slow, comfortable death for your wealth, rather than a bumpy, uncomfortable life. We have to understand the rule of 72 inches in reverse. If inflation averages 3.5%, your money loses half of its value every 20 years. That means if you retire with $1 million in cash in 20 years, it will spend like $500,000. That is not safety, that is a crisis waiting to happen. The irony is that by trying to avoid the risk of the S&P 500, which has historically returned 10% on average despite crashes, wars, and recessions, you are embracing the certainty of poverty. So, how do we break out of this paralysis? We have to reframe our relationship with time and adopt the owner's mindset. You have to realize that in the short term, 1 year, 2 years, the stock market is a casino. It is risky. But in the long term, 10 years, 15 years, the stock market is the engine of the global economy. Holding cash in the long term is the gamble. The solution is not to become a day trader. The solution is to automate your bravery. We use a strategy called dollar cost averaging. This means you invest the same amount of money every single month, regardless of what the market is doing. When the market is up, you buy fewer shares. When the market is down, you buy more shares on sale. This removes the emotion. It removes the need to time the market, which is impossible anyway. You have to understand that the perfect time to invest does not exist. I hear women say, I'm waiting for the crash to buy in. But while you wait, you miss the dividends, the compounding, and the recovery. The cost of waiting is astronomical. Let's look at the opportunity cost. If you invest $500 a month from age 25 to 65, assuming an 8% return, you have roughly $1.7 million. If you wait until age 35 to start just 10 years of playing it safe, you end up with roughly $745,000. That 10-year delay didn't cost you $60,000 in contributions, it cost you $1 million in wealth. That is the price of your fear. You are paying a $1 million premium for the emotional comfort of seeing a stable number in your bank account. Real safety comes from ownership. It comes from owning the companies that sell the toothpaste, the iPhones, and the logistics that run the world, because those companies can raise prices to match inflation. Your dollar bill cannot raise its price. It can only shrink. To escape the safety trap, you must divorce your emotions from your math. You must look at your cash not as a security blanket, but as an employee who has shown up to work and decided to take a nap. Wake that money up. Move it into a high-yield savings account for your emergency fund, so at least you keep up with inflation, and put the rest into a low-cost, broad market index fund. You will feel anxious at first. That is normal. That anxiety is simply the feeling of your money leaving the comfort zone and entering the growth zone. Embrace the volatility, because on the other side of that volatility is the only thing that actually matters: freedom. The choice is yours. You can keep your money safe and watch it slowly disappear, or you can take the calculated risk of ownership and watch it grow. Do not let the fear of a red day cost you a green life. If you are ready to stop hoarding and start compounding, comment "I choose growth" down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.